Ever since the beginning of my YouTube channel, I have loved the Raspberry Pi. That's where my channel started with. So when a new product comes out, I get fairly excited. And that's what we're taking a look at today, is a new product from the Raspberry Pi Foundation, the Pi 500 Plus. I saw this, I had to have one, so I bought it. I love these things. It's essentially a new version of this thing, the Raspberry Pi 500. But there's a lot of changes here, and we'll get into that in a second. But this right here, I love when they do this. It's a keyboard with the Raspberry Pi built in. Very slim, you know, just ready to go. Typically, these will come with like a micro SD card. You just plug it in, plug in power, you're good to go. Whatever operating system, you want to do some emulation, which is typically what we do on this channel with the Raspberry Pi. But there's tons of other things you could do. Oftentimes, they'll also have like a full kit of these where it'll come with like a mouse, a project book, an HDMI cable, and the power supply. And I know they're supposed to have that with this one, with the Pi 500 Plus, but I don't know if it's available yet. I did not see it, but this is what was out there, so that's what I grabbed. And these are, you know, they're getting a little pricey, the Raspberry Pis, so I know for emulation's sake, there's a lot of other options out there now. It's not the same like it used to be. Buy a little $25, $35 single board computer and you're up in gaming, and it was a very awesome thing. You can still do that though, and I have another video we're going to be getting into with the Raspberry Pi doing that. But this was almost $200 right here. But there's a lot of neat little things with this. So you're going to get more RAM with this and more storage than you would with the standard Pi 500. The Pi 500, it's just like a micro SD card, and that was it. 8 gigabytes of RAM on this version, and just standard keyboard. This one, you got like RGB lighting, and it's a mechanical keyboard. So that's kind of neat. That's kind of neat. You got that clickiness going on. Pretty sweet. You get some tools in the box. I believe a keycap remover. So if you want to swap, you know, the keys, you can do that. And I think the tool to open the case, like this is fairly standard pry tool. So you get that. That's all that comes with the standard kit here. But also, you do get a 256 gigabyte SSD drive built in. So here's the back here. You do have the 40-pin GPIO right here. It's just, you got that rubber blocking it there if you want to use it. But to compare, it is definitely bigger, a bit thicker, and a bit wider than the Pi 500. So if you look at the bottom here, that's what the Pi 500 looked like. And here is the 500 Plus. So you have some screws that you can open this thing up and access that SSD drive. Take it out, add stuff to it, swap it with something else, whatever you want. You still have a micro SD card slot. Open her up real quick. And right here, there's a little slot, I believe, to pry it open. So yeah, you just get the pry tool in there and then just follow it around to crack all the, not literally crack it, but you know, to loosen up the clips. And that should be it. I think, well, I mean, there's most likely going to be a ribbon cable in there, so yeah, be careful with that. So there's the board for the keyboard, ribbon cable. I'm gonna pop it up, set the keyboard side over there, and then there is our board with the, you know, little metal heat sink on top and access to our SSD drive. If you want to swap it, take it out, you know, whatever, right? Upgrade it, put a bigger drive in there. There you go. You got posts for 2230, 2242, a 2260, and the 2280 size. So now if I want to take, for example, this SSD drive out of here, off of this Pi hat, my Pi 5 over here, get it out of here and put it into that one. See if it works. Should. I mean, it's a 1 terabyte drive, so we got a lot more storage there. And that's essentially it. You could just like hand tighten this post. So let's get this back on there. Power it on. Booted straight into it. Okay, so there's the keyboard all lit up. Now there's supposed to be different lighting settings that you can do and you can cycle through. You can press function F4 to cycle through them. Got like red, rainbow, whatever, you know, spinny rainbow. I don't know what the hell that's called. Cycle pinwheel. I think that's what it is. And I think this one's just like when you type, typing heat is what this one's called. And then what else? And this one's just the reactive typing. Sweet. And then you can cycle back through by holding Shift, Function, F4. Boom. Let's try out just real quick a couple things on this build. This is a Wolfenose build. I've covered it on the channel in the past, but just want to check out something a little demanding like GameCube. Soul Calibur 2. Very nice. So, I mean, this game's playing very well. Not really too many issues. There's some glitches in the life bar earlier, but beside that, the game's playing fine. Yeah. So, I want to check out one other thing. I mean, we have a keyboard here, so I think it's probably more beneficial playing games that would use the keyboard, right? And there definitely are going to be some. I know I have MS-DOS on here. There we go. We could play some Warcraft. So there we go. So this is definitely a game that beneficial using the mouse and the keyboard, because there's a lot of keyboard shortcuts that you use. You know, holding control, using the mouse to select everybody, pressing like M to select move. But yeah, there you go. I think this is a cool little device. Raspberry Pi 500 plus. Mechanical keyboard now with the RGB backlit keys. Neat. 16 gigabytes of RAM. 256 gigabyte built-in SSD drive. I think that's awesome. A little pricey. Almost 200 bucks depending on where you buy it from. But I love this stuff. I love messing around with it. You know, hey, this is a Raspberry Pi monitor as well, which is pretty sweet. You have to have, like, it's powered by the Raspberry Pi right now. That's why the volume's not very high. If you want the volume to be able to boost up to 100%, you have to power it separately. But, you know, it is what it is. I think all this stuff is really cool. That's why I like messing with it, continue doing little videos. But yeah, I want to work on making like a full MS-DOS like build for the Raspberry Pi to kind of really take advantage of something like this. You know, maybe not the full power of it, but, you know, I think that'd be cool. But yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.